Okay, so sorry, got cut off somehow. But what I'm saying here, though, is um, Christ is trying to teach us how to forgive each other our mistakes, right, towards each other. Now, if you really rape a woman, it's rape at the time, which means you said that, right, and you didn't know, like I said, right, certain information, The problem with that is if you don't tell me something, I don't know something. And the difference is with rape, if you let me do something sexually instead of oral sex, you didn't say you didn't want that either, right? The difference is you didn't say that bothered you while we were doing it, right? If you say it while we're doing it and I do it anyway, that's rape, right? But if you let me do it, I'm enticing you to have sex with me, like Moses talked about the virgin, right? If you entice her to lay with you, right, and she thought you wanted oral sex, but you had sex with her instead, you're still to endow her to be your wife and ask her hand in marriage, which was what I was trying to do with asking her to marry me in Jerusalem. I don't know. You understand? But she misunderstood, right? She must have got mad at that and wanted me not to have had sex with her at all, but just the oral sex, but did not communicate that to me until after the letters where I'm talking about getting her pregnant and marrying her anyway. I don't know if I did. That's when it dawned on her, oh, we didn't do oral, we had sex. And then she got mad because she was wanting to wait for marriage, but didn't tell me that before we had the encounter. But all she can say is I enticed her into sex instead of oral sex when she didn't tell me she was waiting for marriage, right? So she's frustrated with what she did. You understand? She's mad at me because I enticed her to have sex instead of the oral sex, right? I understand her problem, and I'm trying to tell her I didn't know that. See, I'm in the church where they're jerking off with men, and the men are jerking off in the church with each other, right? I'm being confused by my church. I'm not saying your church is doing that, like my church in Georgia didn't do that. Reagan Baptist Temple didn't teach us that. No, no. No church in Georgia teaches you that, but Pastor Davis's church, okay, if you want to be a part of their unionship program, they were teaching them that. And they in the Navy, honey. So, like I said, I'm confused when I meet you. I started having premarital sex with the girl at Shay's party, the girl at the store on Main Street, the girl at the club in Norfolk, NOB, right? The girl in Boston, and then Rose, and then Rose. And then I met you, and I was telling you about the 5 women I was with already, right? I done had sex with them, right? This is where we talk about doctrine. But wait a minute, we're on a date. We meet each other, we start talking and getting to know each other. All you told me was you're Pentecostal, but that your dad molested you. Okay? What does that mean to me? So is my pastor, United Pentecostal. Uh-oh. And he's trying to jerk off with his units, right? He getting involved with that. They're going to motel rooms with their pastor. For jerk off sections, I guess, right? That's why he was on 2020 for that. Now, the man in his image is already marred for him being on 2020 anyway. Then he went to jail for probably talking to 2 boys and telling them they can masturbate together, and that's called corruption of a minor. Dude, it is. And it's a felony, right? You can't tell two young boys they can do that together. You can't. Now, you can tell the boy, like Moses said, if you're alone, okay, and your seed of ejaculation come out of you and gets on your skin or garment, you know what he's talking about there? You're by yourself. Or with a woman, or with a woman. Only two ways did he say your seed can leave your body: by yourself or with a woman. Damn. You know what that by yourself is, right? It's either a wet dream or masturbation. Come on. Only one way your seed can come out your body, otherwise, is a wet dream or masturbation. So he's not saying you can't masturbate before sex. But he is saying nothing about doing it with another man. And the only one you can have sex with in Judaism is your wife. You can't have sex with a man, right? But I'm trying to help people understand that if you're gay and want to marry, right? Two. Marriage is honorable to all. In all. Anyone who marries is trying to be a partner with somebody, right? In the bed undefiled, even if you're gay. Do you understand the difference there? I'm not telling them with condemnation in my heart, okay, that Jesus didn't die for their sin of homosexuality as well. Can you? No. But the sin, okay, right, is also a crime in the UMCJ. If you're in the military, you can't do that kind of sex. So don't join the military if you're gay. You can't. No. It's against the law even if you marry, right? But if you're a civilian, right, and you get legally married, that's different. See. You can do that. And then your bed is honorable and the bed is undefiled like a heterosexual marriage, right? It's what I mean. The Bible does not condemn any form of marriage, right? Not even gay marriage. And it does not say they cannot get legally married before they have sex, like you were trying to do with me, right? But didn't tell me your stance on it before we had sex. See, then I'm enticing you to have sex with me, which you thought I was going to do oral sex with you, but I instead did sex. And you didn't even know I did the sex, which is enticing me, right? Did I trick you a little bit? Yeah, but I did so with an honorable intent to marry you. Like I read Moses said, right? Even if I'm enticing you to have sex with me and you didn't want the sex, you didn't tell me before I had the sex. So I'm enticing you into the sex that you didn't want, right? But you didn't tell me you didn't want it either until after I started talking about getting you pregnant and marrying you anyway. I know. Do you understand, right? Then I wrote the prophecy about rape, right? Why is that? I'm not trying to rape you. I enticed you, right? I tricked you into sex, right? When you thought I was going to do oral sex on you, I instead did real sex on you. Because you didn't say you didn't want it. So you got to say you didn't want it while I'm doing something with you of a sexual nature where I put on your shorts and panties. Or I'm enticing you and changing up on you instead of having sex with you, right? Which you did not say you did not want one way or the other, right? During our encounter, right? You didn't tell me you're waiting for marriage. I didn't know that. And that's what I'm trying to explain about my church. We teach that too, but not everybody's doing that in the church. You understand? Some people are having premarital sex. And my friend Myron was married and divorced twice. The church is also hard on divorcees, right? You can't get divorced in the church. That's the Catholic Church, they too, right? And also the Baptist, and also the Protestant. But the problem is, Jesus' story is more explained orally than it is in the written part of the Bible. The letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life, right? You're to preach from it everything concerning Jesus, right? Well, all that's about Jesus and Mary, right? Too, his wife, Because, see, if you bring some other man's wife to him, what does that have to do with him? No. I keep asking you that. But if you bring his own wife caught in the act of adultery with another man, but without the man, he's also able, through the law of Moses, to forgive her and divorce her instead of stoning her. Right. Because they would have to go back and get the man to stone him with his wife, right? Because he committed the adultery with her, right? You got to stone them both in Moses' law, too, right? All he would have had to write down is both, and stone both, right? Not too complicated either, right? Stone them both, right? Whatever the equivalent is in Hebrew or Greek, too, right? But Jesus could read and write. And he probably understood the Torah and the prophets and the New Testament and the Psalms and Proverbs better than they did too, right? And explained it to the disciples before he left, right? They were supposed to teach us all that too, But you gotta teach it orally. See, orally means you explain what Ezekiel means with comparison to chapter 3 in Genesis, right? That's a further explanation of it, by the way. So is Ezekiel 28, which tells you he was in Eden, the garden of God, the anointed cherub that covers, right? And there are two cherubs guarding the way of the tree of life, right? Which is really the Spirit of God in you both. I don't know. You all. Whether you're in the celestial form, which is a gaseous life form, right? Or a terrestrial, which is an earthly life form, right? So, like I said, if you look at the sun, the angels are like the sun. We're like the earth. We're made from the earth, earthy, right? They're made from they're almost like a nuclear power source, right? Life form, right? They're almost like a star, right? Type life form, right? That could be all the lights you're seeing flying around. By the way. And what you think are UFOs could really be the angels, right? You don't know what it is, huh? So, well, they can assume a form, right? If they look like a little girl, the one that had a vagina they showed on TV, but was a little girl, but was like a little girl. Yeah. I saw that. Well, what's going on? But a big bulbous head, right? I don't know. But it's neither a child nor an adult, ain't it? As well. Only in autopsies, whatever, is going on there. And it could be a fake body. We don't know. Could be just bullshit. We don't know. But angels can assume human form, right? Or a form similar to a human being. They can even maybe create their own form. Which are really confusing, right? Now, it could also be some things that might be part of a different type of dreaming where you're in REM sleep, but you're awake. I don't know. But you're still in bed, but you think this is really happening, right? Most dreams seem real to people. Like when I stood before the throne of God, that seemed real to me. When I saw the Indian looking girl, that seemed real to me. When I was having sex with the redhead and was inside her and trying to get it pull out, right? And she wouldn't let me, that seemed real to me, right? But it was just a dream because there was no girl when I woke up. I was in my bed, right? Again, that's the discerning fantasy from reality, dreaming life from fictional life, right? And you cannot have a problem with your real life and make your fictional life bigger than your real life either. That's a problem too, right? Because then you're loving a lie more than you're loving your reality, and you're trying to escape your reality through a lie. No. Now, I ain't saying these movies are wrong or all this or all that, or that you can't come up with new ideas, but so can I, right? But banana bread. I seen the cruise yesterday. You'll get it. Go see it. Guess what I got in my living room though? Banana bread. Banana bread. Yeah. I bought it before I seen the movie though. That's the difference too, right? Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't hurt nobody, and I know not to sleep with anyone under 6 feet. Ah. But someone under 16 can't do every job they want to do, right? Certain jobs you might can do, working in Burger King, working in, right, McDonald's, working in the theater. You might could do that 14 and 16, right? But from 16, but nail technician, you gotta be 16. Bartender, you gotta be 18. To work at a rent-a-car place, you gotta be older than 18. No. Now, they might allow a 16-year-old to work there if they're just washing the cars or something. But you gotta be what? Old enough to drive a car. Right. Damn. Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, the reason they want the women to be 16 working in the nail salon is because of the chemicals in the nail polish remover specifically, right? Even with the mask, no. It's dangerous to inhale all that. Mm-hmm. And they want anyone working in that profession to be 16 and older. I think it even went up a year this year. It's 17 now, right? So guess what, Michelle? If you're 16 and you're working in the nail salon, you can't work in there until you're 17. So quit working there, asshole.